going on, guys? You're listening to episode 3 of Beantown Faithful with Andrew Brown and Rhody. It is October 30th, and on the agenda we have the Pats, which includes Gronk's 69th touchdown and the notorious field dildo. We have the World Series, we have the Dallas QB situation, and the Celtics.
Yeah.
Let's get going with the Pats.
Dude, that was everything I wanted out of a Pats-Bills revenge game as you could ask for. I know the Bills were banged up and whatnot, but even with LaShawn McCoy and Sammy Watkins, there was no fucking chance.
Were we not banged up when they beat us?
That's true.
Well,
That's
not banged
true.
up, but with fucking Tom Brady was suspended.
That was, yeah. 41-25, I feel, doesn't even really do any justice because it was just the Bills had absolutely no momentum that whole game.
Speaking of the score, I did say last episode that people should put their life savings on the spread and the over-under, and I made a pretty bold claim that the Pats would cover the over-under themselves, and they were actually only like 8 points off, I believe, because I think the final was 48.5 over.
Bet your life savings on the Patriots.
Well, no, it depends on the spread, but that was a gimme.
Well, that was just said last week. Bet your fucking life savings on the Patriots, and if people bet their life savings on the Patriots, probably get a decent return this week.
Yeah. Tom Brady had an unreal game. Took a lot of pressure off Blunt. Not that there's really usually any anyway, because Brady's always phenomenal, but.
Oh my god. And Tom Brady is just. Remember last year, when he wasn't suspended, he came out and he was just on that. He was on a torrid pace.
Yep. He hasn't thrown a pick yet, has he?
I think the Tom Brady Revenge Tour 2016 edition has been twice as good.
It's just getting started.
Through his first 4 games, Brady's QB rating is 132.2. He's already thrown for over 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, no picks, and a 73.
His passer rating?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I don't think that can go that high. He's
completed 73% of his passes thus far.
Unreal.
And the deep ball, we saw it again, dude. The first 53-yarder to Hogan today, where he just literally, it fell right into his arms.
Great.
There was nothing the Bills could do about that.
Yeah, then Gronk with the 69th touchdown. I saw a stat earlier. Morgan held the record before with 68, obviously, but Gronk has only played 86 games. It took Morgan 180 games to get to 68. That's insane.
On that touchdown, too, did you see? I don't know what the hell Rex was thinking about on that one. There was nobody back in coverage. They had one cornerback on Gronk, and that was it.
Hey, it's Rex Ryan for you.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I feel like at that point he had already given up.
Yeah, I mean, it was a relatively quiet game from Edelman. I mean, he had a touchdown in there, but not 8 targets, only 4 catches.
But yeah, we haven't really seen that 10-catch, 120-yard game from Julian Edelman to this point in the season because, there's just so many weapons on that Patriots team that you're not dependent on just Julian Edelman or just Rob Gronkowski. The thing about Jules now is he's 30 years old. He's a slot receiver who gets banged up pretty often, on those matches on the in routes against linebackers and whatnot. The fact that Brady has these guys around him now, and Hogan, and like Amendola and Bennett and stuff like that, it's gonna help Jules because he's not gonna get as banged up every single week.
Right.
And that's good for the Patriots. Yeah.
What'd you think about the defense? Trey Flowers.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you a couple things. Defensive line is looking a little bit better. The pass rush was decent today. I mean, I think they could have had a little bit more stats, but I mean,
Did
when you have Tyrod Taylor that can avoid pressure so well,
did Flowers
it's
have the only 2
tough.
sacks?
I think so.
I think so too.
Uh, a couple of other
Yes.
things. Devin McCourty. Devin McCourty had some nice plays today. He had a couple of good hits. He had that pick that got called back on one of Eric Rowe's 3
Yeah.
fucking pass interference calls today.
Had a deflection
That
mixed
was
in there too.
horrible. Eric Rowe just played a straight out awful game today. And I think one of those pass interference was it was an iffy call, but still, there's no reason to be holding on. There's no reason to be holding on to guys like Taylor was underthrowing, overthrowing everybody all day. Like, just play good defense like a cornerback, and you cannot be giving up free yards.
Yeah,
That could have
Taylor
been
was he was down around like 50%
that
completion wise, I believe.
that could have been a completely different game if the Bills could have converted on some of those scoring chances.
Right.
But another thing I noticed too is the past 2 games, especially Malcolm Butler has been a lot more. I mean, aggressive, but he's also just been he's just been making. He just seems like he's been in on a lot more plays. Like he just seems like he's really taken a good approach these last couple of games, getting into the action, and I love that. Like
Ever since Seattle,
but
he's has confidence beyond belief, man. You can't not have confidence. His balls have got to be the size of Jupiter.
oh yeah, and his talent wise, he backs it up. I mean, he's still relatively he's still a young corner. Like he's still got stuff to learn and whatnot, and stuff to get better at. But last
Yeah,
week,
we've got Bill Belichick to teach him.
last week solid game against Antonio Brown. Again, that one bad
Yeah.
that one
That's
bad
it.
play. This week Taylor barely even threw in his direction. He was going after Rowe, which Tyrod Taylor's a decent enough quarterback to know you're going to go after the weaker cornerback. But all in all, again, from a defensive standpoint, pretty solid game. Besides, a couple issues with Eric Rowe in the secondary and whatnot, but I mean, I think from the front seven from the front 7 at this point, you know what you're gonna get. And goddamn, I don't know if you've seen it, but to this point in the season, 8 games in, with J.J. Watt out of the picture for Defensive Player of the Year, how can you not
Hightower?
look at Dante Hightower and talk about him?
I'm with you.
Guy is in on every single tackle, every single play. He hits hard. He does what he has to do, and he is just a freaking tank. 6'2", 250 pounds, and he plays every down at the linebacker position.
He's a freak.
That is impressive.
Yeah. One thing you mentioned earlier, I believe it was third down efficiency and red zone efficiency. Pat's 9 of 13 third down, and Bill's 4 of 13.
Yeah, and that just makes a difference in so many ways. And ever since Tom Brady has come back, the Patriots' third down efficiency has been through the roof. And another thing,
confident with Brady.
Oh, absolutely. Another thing to note too is Dion Lewis started practicing this week, so we might not be that far off from Brady having another weapon.
Yep.
Because can you imagine on third downs the double screens that you can have with Lewis and White lined up next to Brady in the shotgun?
Right.
Because what do you do? Because then you gotta pull linebackers to go play on them. And if there's nobody over the middle that exposes Julian Edelman, that exposes Gronk, I mean, you're not going to be able to combat this Patriots offense. People really can't now. I mean, Brady's just been surgical. Absolutely.
As expected.
Cutting people up. And if anybody deserves some props today on the offense, it's Martellus Bennett. He had a few catches, made a couple of decent plays, but his ankle is so banged up. But that's not he's not getting sidelined.
Yeah.
We've got
we've got to move on to the more serious Pat stuff. What are your thoughts on the field dildo?
Dude, funniest thing I've ever seen on live TV.
Whoever threw
Because
that is a genius. Perfect
because
placement, right where the cameras would see it. Living legend.
unbelievable. And the call on TV was hysterical because you had the you had the announcers. They were like, oh, what is that? There's something that just flew onto the field. At first I thought it was a flag, but it's not a flag. And then
Yeah,
after
that
that, they stopped
sure isn't a
talking about
flag.
it.
That is a dildo.
Dude, Bills fans, what can
Bills
they
fans are
do?
the best. Bills Mafia is unstoppable.
Of course.
Wait until they actually have a good team one day.
Oh yeah. I hope I'm not around to see it.
You never know, man.
You
All right.
fuck the Bills.
What else? We got the World Series. Let's talk about that.
Indians 1 win away.
Well, we can't really talk about Game 5 because it's going on as we're speaking. Well, let's get an update here. Last time I checked, it was 3-2 Cubs.
Oof.
It is still 3-2 Cubs in the bottom of the 7th.
Chapman shuts the door. Force a game 6.
Cody Allen's in already.
Then you got Arrieta, game 6, and then Kluber versus Kendricks, game 7.
All I know is I'm sticking with 4-2 Indians.
Think so?
But yeah, the Indians, Francisco Lindor is having an awesome series. He's, let's see, 7 of 15.
Hey, he also stole second base, so free tacos for everybody.
That's what matters.
You think if I'm missing out on fucking free Doritos, Locos Tacos, you're dead ass wrong.
Jose Ramirez, he killed us, and he's still killing it. He's batting like over 300 too.
For the Indians, this is just one of those postseasons. It's kind of reminiscent of the Giants teams. They got there, nobody really thought that they would get where they did.
Right.
But now it's
got a ton of momentum.
Yeah. And I mean, the road to get there was, it was tough. I mean, granted they swept the Red Sox, but I don't think they expected nobody expected them to sweep the Red Sox, and then
they were counting out too.
They made it. They thought they were going to get manhandled by the Jays, and then they ended up manhandling the Jays.
Yeah, it didn't work out very well for them.
And now the 108 win Cubs are on the ropes. So
you know what I find very interesting?
What's that?
Chris Bryant has one hit this series.
Oh yeah.
Batting .071.
Yeah.
Contreras is playing terrible too.
You said it last week. There's nobody in that Cubs lineup outside of Brian and Rizzo that really terrifies you.
And when one of them goes down, you're screwed. But luckily, Zobrist has stepped it up this series. Kyle Schwarber came back. He's making an impact.
Yeah.
But Javi Baez is basically the Cubs' Connor Gillespie. He's trash so far this series. Russell's trash this series.
Yep.
I mean, Rizzo is okay.
The offense has just been stagnant. They have not been performing to where they need to be to beat the Indians pitching staff. But that's the thing though too, is Terry Francona manages so well that if his starter only gives him 5 innings, 4 and a third innings, something like that, he's confident in what he's throwing out of the bullpen at you. Obviously, fucking the Grim Reaper and Andrew Miller and Cody Allen.
Yeah, he finally let up a run.
Yeah, right. Finally.
Yeah, let's get on to Prescott versus Romo. Interested to hear what you have to say about that.
Dude, I think Jerry Jones needs to hurry up and swallow his pride.
Yeah,
the Cowboys are a team, honestly, on the up and up, and you cannot turn a 5-1 Cowboys team. Did they win? Did they beat the Eagles, or is that game
They're
still
still
going
going
on?
on, but they're losing.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, assume they assume that they lose. They're a 5-2 Cowboys team, and they are going into November. When November and December are Tony Romo's worst months, he just absolutely shits the bed November and December.
Well, let's
How
also consider that it's Tony Romo. It's not like we're comparing Peyton Manning and Dak Prescott. It's Tony Romo. The guy's 2-4 in the playoffs. He's fragile. Even if he does get his job back, he's gonna get destroyed by somebody, and he's gonna be hurt first play back.
I mean, he got hurt first play of the free season, so I mean, and the thing is, it's so easy to rag on Tony Romo, but when you look at it, Tony Romo is a good quarterback when he's healthy.
He's trash.
He is not a bad quarterback when he's healthy. He can win football games for you. And, you know, if he had been healthy if he had been healthy for the whole season, I guarantee you the Cowboys offense would be a lot scarier. If Ezekiel Elliott would be running the ball with Tony Romo under center, the way that he's been running the ball with Dak Prescott under center, you would definitely see Des Bryant having a better year because the Romo Bryant connection is absurd. But I think at this point it's so hard to sit there and say, you know, Tony Romo's back from injury. Thanks for getting us to 5-2 or 6-1 or whatever they end up being. Take a seat and wait for Tony Romo. Yeah, take a seat and hope that Romo gets injured again.
It's just a case of not fixing what isn't broken.
You can't do that exactly. And Tony Romo's broken all the fucking time. So, I mean, I think he's still decent enough to have on the bench, just in case you get what happens if you go down the stretch and all of a sudden Prescott loses a couple games here and there, and now the Cowboys are tied in the division, or they even fall behind. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they trot El Romo out there. You mean, you have to, especially starting
after
the season
his confidence
as well
is drained.
Yeah,
losing his job to Prescott.
And here's the other thing.
That'll be funny to watch.
Here's the other thing too, though, is if Romo is that close to coming back, we're not that we're. If Romo was 95% healthy and he was ready to play, I guarantee you we'd be sitting here talking about the possibility of Romo getting traded this weekend.
Yes, I mean, there are a lot of teams out there that need quarterbacks that have
especially. Teams that could fit for Romo honestly could be the Bears.
Nobody can fix that.
The Bears, no, nobody can fix that team. But who else? The Jets. The Jets might.
Geno Smith.
Oh yeah, torn ACL Geno Smith. Yeah.
But they've got Fitzy too.
He was awful today.
Sure was. One thing I do like about Tony Romo is he's actually got a pretty good golf swing.
You know what else? You know where else I could see Tony Romo going?
Where?
Broncos. Could you imagine?
I would love that.
That would be a mess.
I would absolutely love every second of that.
Especially if he played well with that receiving core, Thomas and Sanders.
Yeah, but he's not going to play well. And it's going to be a waste of a draft pick for the Broncos.
Probably.
I love every second of it.
I mean, you look at the facts. Romo is 36 years old. Like you said, fragile as fuck. Barely stay upright with one of the best offensive lines in the league. Granted, they're built to play the run, but you're telling me that all those guys can't keep Tony Romo upright in the pocket? You kidding me?
That's on Romo.
Tyron Smith, who's one of the
you have
Travis Frederick.
Frederick's nasty too. He's probably one of the best centers in the game.
Probably. Tyron Smith, definitely one of the best left tackles in the game, if
Easily.
not the best.
I think he's considered the best.
So all the pieces are there. The Cowboys' defense has been better, which has, obviously played a role in them being 5-1 thus far. Ezekiel Elliott is, leading the NFL in rushing yards. He is probably a leading candidate for Offensive Rookie of the Year. They have a winning formula. That's just it, and you cannot justify throwing out somebody who you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know how long you're going to get them for. I mean, Jerry Jones, like I said, Jerry Jones needs to swallow his fucking pride, the old stupid fuck that he is.
Well, I mean, Prescott's got a passer rating of 46 so far tonight. 9 of 22.
Really?
They're only down a touchdown, though.
Yeah. The Eagles haven't been bad.
I mean, no, they've been solid.
They've exceeded expectations. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's only going to get better. I mean, if he's seen this much success doing what he's done now, imagine, give him next year, 2 years down the road. They'll be good. I mean, like I said, they've exceeded expectations thus far.
All right, let's segue into the Celtics here.
Good win against Charlotte.
Great win against Charlotte, but we got the Bulls coming up again. One thing that was just mind-boggling, I hate to go back and talk about that game again, but we shot 50% from the field that game. They shot 39%. That's a pretty big difference, and we still got murked. And that's mainly because they had 18 offensive rebounds to our 3, which is a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem.
And our free throw percentage was 62, which 15 to 24.
Yeah.
Points to be made up there. Even in turnovers, even in most of the other stats.
I mean, turnovers I don't really worry about. Celtics aren't really a team that turn the ball over a lot consistently.
Isaiah kind of does, but he tries to do too much sometimes.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But that Hornets game, I mean, you could say it's a statement win. Charlotte's definitely a playoff team.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind. I mean,
yeah.
They got Kemba. Marvin Williams is pretty solid. Batum.
I think if they could get in, I think if they can get the win at home against the Bulls team.
That would be great.
That would be great.
I think I want to say we have the Cavs following that.
Yep.
If we can go into that game coming off a win against the Bulls, that would be great.
Oh, definitely.
Very encouraging. I think we'll give the Cavs a good game regardless.
Yeah, I think so. We always do. Little bit of news too, actually. Kelly Olynyk returning to practice. Should be back within 2 weeks.
That'll be nice to have.
Good.
Smart should be back soon too.
Yep. I read somewhere Smart could be back for the Cavs game.
That would not surprise me.
Possibly.
Maybe even sooner.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Avery Bradley's night.
Good.
31 points, 8 of 11 from 3.
Yeah.
With 11 boards on top of it and 4 assists.
Incredible.
Awesome night. Isaiah had a quiet 24, 9 of 20 from the field. Seems like he just has, he quietly puts up 20, 25 points.
Yeah.
All the time.
But Bradley, if he's gonna go out and shoot that well from 3 every night.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying.
Close to that would be great.
Absolutely.
But Crowder, he only had 9 points, but he was 3 of 7 from 3, which is, our 3-point. We shot 48% as a team, which is
better,
miles higher than what we did last
year. Absolutely.
Rozier had another solid game. I mean, he only scored 5 points, but he had a few boards, couple assists in there too. He's stuff in the stat sheet, game in, game out.
Yep. And again, it's a work in. You don't want to call it a work in progress because it's a team that we've seen together now for 2+ years, but
right.
it still is. I mean, still missing two key guys, and
I mean, you still got to
they,
work Brown into the mix. You got to work Green into the mix.
yep. Rozier's going to get his minutes,
Yeah,
and
he's
what
not
he
used to
does with
getting
the
20 minutes a
yeah,
game.
absolutely. But he's just going to get better. But it's going to be, like we were talking last time, it's going to be how they fare against bad teams, and then how well they can run with the established teams of the East. If they can give the Cavs a good game, maybe get a win or two against them this year. When they play the Raptors, they get a win or two against them this year. It's they have to show up for the big games.
Absolutely.
Not just when they play the Warriors like they did last year when, they literally gave the Warriors absolute fits and beat them in Oracle Arena. But I mean, they have to play like the team that everybody thinks they're going to be. They have to be quick up and down the court. They got to be aggressive. They have to take
Shoot the
good
three ball.
shots. Yep, they got to get better at the three ball, and they have to, they got to get better with the offensive rebounding. That's a given.
It was better last night. Absolutely, 100%. The Bulls game,
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. That was just atrocious. But one thing that's worrying me is the Nets because we have their draft picks, and they beat the Pacers the other night, who have been getting a ton of hype. And I just don't like to see stuff like that. I'm really hoping they don't miraculously pull off like a 30-win season and end up like mid-lottery.
Yeah. I
That would
mean,
be unfortunate.
I think Trader Danny, if it gets to that point, he'll
I
start
mean,
looking
yeah, if they start
around.
to show glimpses of life, I think he's just gonna swing that pick.
Yeah.
I think he should anyway, but
I mean, looking at that roster though, it's so hard to sit here and even think that they will get close to 30 wins.
yeah, no, I'm totally with you. But like seeing a win like that against the Pacers, I don't know.
I don't think that'll happen often.
Hopefully not. I mean, I think they gave the Bucks a fit too. They only lost by 2. I think it went down to it might have went to overtime.
Oh, probably.
But yeah, we got the Bulls coming up at the Garden. Hopefully take care of them, followed by the Cavs, as we said. And then we've got the Nuggets at home, which should
That's
be hopefully a nice little break.
Yeah, I hope so.
The Wizards too, and then it gets back into the heat of things with the Knicks, Pacers.
Yeah, the next game I'm interested in.
I don't
Truly,
know.
truly, because you know the Knicks are one of those teams that talk the talk, but again, now the Celtics have been there. Can they quiet a Knicks team that's trying to build momentum early in the season?
Do you
Because
see? Actually, continue.
cause, I mean, we sit there and laugh at the Knicks, but I mean,
Yeah, screw them.
we can make fun of Derrick Rose all he
He's
wants,
a
but he's
murderer.
he's, he's still a solid still a solid player when he's healthy. Melo still shows those glimpses of superstardom. Not every game anymore, but he's definitely still got the ability to take over for 30 points a game. And Porzingis is probably going to be a nightmare.
I love Porzingis. I hate the Knicks, but I love Kristaps.
He's
He's gonna
probably
be
going to be a
so
nightmare.
so so good. Have you seen Russell Westbrook? Unreal. I
MVP.
mean, not that I didn't. Expected nothing else than this, but
Um,
he's been putting up
I'm
unreal
telling
numbers.
you, MVP.
Oh no, I feel like it's a no-brainer to say that at this point.
He got
Like
robbed of it
3 games
last year
in, but
too.
you know what's gonna happen. Triple
He
double
got
every
robbed.
game.
He got robbed of it last year. Fuck Steph Curry.
I mean, I can see why they gave it to Curry, but if you're really basing it off value,
Russell Westbrook,
I mean,
all
look at the
day,
numbers the
every
guy
single
puts
day.
up.
Yeah. And the thing is, the Thunder with just Westbrook could probably still, you know, they'll make the playoffs. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'd like to think, but you never know. What Russ gets
I,
hurt?
then it's time to start tanking for lottos.
You know what else? You know what we should end it with?
What?
Let's. Hopefully, this isn't too sensitive, but let's. Did you see the Jose Fernandez reports?
I mean, it was sad because and I think a lot of it has to do with just how the media portrays that kind of stuff.
What
Oh,
do you
he's such
mean?
a
You know what it has to
such an
do
amazing.
with?
No, hang on, wait. Remember, it was he's such an amazing guy. He loves everything about baseball.
All right. Well,
He
doing
he
coke doesn't
cares
make you a
for
bad guy.
he cares for his family. Blah blah blah. Oh well. I mean, why would you? You know what I'm saying?
He just liked to
Like, I
party.
mean, the image is tainted. The image is a little bit tainted. That's all I'm saying. For me,
I
for
disagree.
me, the image is tainted.
Why?
Because you're a professional baseball player. It's the same thing. It's the same thing to me with guys in the NFL that get suspended for weed.
Well, yeah, that's
If
stupid.
you
But
if you're a professional athlete, and that is something that you partake in, can you at least wait until you're out of the season if you're gonna do that?
well, yeah, but that's
Because
a suspension versus death.
but
He's dead whether it's the off
it's
season or not.
oh yeah, I know, but I mean, he went out. Wasn't it like the night before he was supposed to start the game or something like that?
No, I think he knew he was having the day off.
Oh, well,
Either
either
way, he
way,
can go on the boat, pound lines, and sleep in till like 3 o'clock, then head to the field.
I that I don't know. I don't know how you can justify doing that during the
Well, I knew there was something like that involved. Think about it: Spanish, Miami, cocaine.
span. Yeah, they all go together, right?
Yes, not to be stereotypical, but
Or
it is what it
fucking
is.
profiling.
But anyway,
But yeah, I mean, like I said, the image is tainted. I can't. I mean, I didn't want to believe it. I knew you would probably be right on that one, but I mean, I didn't want it to be like that. It's just such a shame because again, facts are facts. The world lost a really talented guy at such a young age for something
absolutely.
stupid.
And he was a great guy, though. Like he was he was great for the sport.
But I mean, you question
I don't
that.
think it taints the image.
You question that. You question that decision making
Like
because
it taints like everybody was like so depressed and whatnot. Like it taints that, but like I don't think it taints his. I don't really think it taints his image.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's just day. Like I said, day off or not, the Marlins at that point still hadn't been out of the playoff picture.
Yeah,
They,
no, it
they
was stupid.
they still had an outside chance. So I
I
mean,
just don't think it taints any because that's. I mean, it's fuck it. Move on.
we're past this.
All right.
I
You know what,
mean,
let's end it on that.
yeah. I mean, it sucks to end it on a sour note, but fuck it. Fuck it.
Let's
Pat's
we
going in.
got
Pat's going into the bye week this week, and they come back. They play Seattle at home.
that should
We
be a good game.
talked about the Celtics. Gonna have a decent couple of statement games coming up. By the time we see you guys next,
Cavs game is going to be going on. Actually, we'll record right after the Cavs game, so we
World
can squeeze that in.
World Series might be over. We might be talking about how
Maybe.
the Cubs are still cursed, or how the Cubs managed to come back from a 3-1 deficit. So we're definitely gonna have a lot on the table for you guys in the next few days. So definitely stay tuned. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Beantown Faithful for updates and stuff like that, just to keep yourselves in the loop. And other than that, you guys, this is Robert Rhody and Andrew Brown, and this has been your Beantown Faithful podcast. This is episode 3. Have a good day, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.